Hello everyone, welcome to Pharmaceutical Organic Chemistry 2 classes. This is the introductory message for the subject Pharmaceutical Organic Chemistry 2. This is the syllabus for the subject. Let's continue with the chapter Phenols. These were the topics we discussed in the previous. These are the contents for today. So let's start. First method is from chlorobenzene. It is also called as Dow process. Dow's process was first introduced in 1928 by the Dow Chemical Company of USA. This process is the industrial process used for the preparation of phenol. In this method, chlorobenzene is heated with aqueous sodium hydroxide at about 623 Kelvin temperature and 300 atmospheric pressure to form sodium phenoxide, which is then acidified by dilute acid like HCl to form phenol. So this is the reaction. So let's see the mechanism behind it. First we'll be taking the chlorobenzene. As you can see, chlorine is more electronegative. So what will happen? The bond between the chlorine and one carbon will break, and there we will have positive and negative charge. Similarly, one hydrogen will also be released because carbon is more electronegative, so it will take the electron from hydrogen and form positive and negative. So after getting ionized, it will react with sodium hydroxide, and we can see what is formed. The left out is sodium chloride and water, so the compound formed is benzene ring with a positive and negative charge. So this is step 1. Next, this benzene ring, this is very much unstable, so the positive and negative joins and forms another bond. So we can see here triple bond. So once a triple bond, it becomes an alkyne, so the name will be benzyne, which is highly unstable. Okay, so this will react with OH and it will form a phenolic compound with a negative charge. Okay, so we can see the positive charge has reacted with OH and it has formed this compound. Okay. Third step, we can see oxygen being more electronegative takes away the electron from hydrogen, and this hydrogen carrying the positive charge will react with the negative charge present on the benzene ring, and it will form this compound. This is called as phenoxide compound. So it will react with sodium ions and it will form sodium phenoxide. Next, this sodium phenoxide, oxygen being more electronegative, will leave out sodium ion again, and next it will react with HCl and form phenol and NaCl. Okay, so this is the mechanism behind Dow process. Next method is from cumene. So what is cumene? Cumene is isopropyl benzene. So this involves air oxidation of cumene followed by treatment with dilute HCl. So this is the reaction. You can see cumene is nothing but isopropyl benzene. It gets oxidized and forms cumene hydroperoxide. on treatment with dilute HCl gives phenol and left out is acetone. The above Cumin process accounts for 80% of the total world population production of phenol. The success of this method is due to the availability of benzene and propene from petroleum and to the formation of acetone, a valuable product. Let's see the mechanism. We have the cumin. So first it gets oxidized. Okay, under sunlight. When there is oxidation under sunlight, what happens? There will be a homolytic fission. So one bond will break and form two free radicals on the oxygen. Only one bond will break. Similarly, the CH bond will also break and form free radicals. So now this free radical, this carbon free radical will react with one free radical of oxygen and hydrogen free radical will react with the other oxygen and it will form this compound. As you can see, only one bond is broken from the oxygen, so one bond still remains. The sigma bond remains, the pi bond breaks and this compound is formed. This is called as cumin hydroperoxide. As you can see, it is a peroxide group COOH. It is a peroxide group containing a hydrogen, so it is called as hydroperoxide. Next, what happens? This OO bond breaks. Okay, this time it is not homolytic fission, but here electronegativity rules comes, or you can say oxygen takes away or breaks the bond and takes away the electron and makes here positive and negative. You can say it is as heterolytic fission. Okay. So next it will react with H plus ion. Okay, as you can see, H plus ion, this positive in H plus will react with the negative present in OH and it will leave out water. Okay, so here we can see a compound containing one positive ion. So you can also call it as this contains a positive charge. We will go for the next step. Okay. So next what happens? This carbon and the carbon present in the benzene ring will break. Okay, so the benzene ring is more electronegative than the carbon present here, or you can say aliphatic carbon is less electronegative than aromatic carbon. Okay. So once this bond breaks, you can see two positive charge. One is present in the carbon, another is present in the oxygen, and the benzene ring is separated out with a negative charge. So this is the intermediate, because it is very unstable, it will react quickly. So this is the intermediate stage. Okay, and very soon the oxygen takes away the electron, because oxygen is more electronegative than the carbon. So oxygen will take away the electron and it will form this compound. Okay, you can see now oxygen is bonded with the benzene ring. Before carbon was bonded, now oxygen is bonded with the benzene ring. Okay. So next stage we can see it reacts with OH. Okay, it will react with OH. And what happens? OH is negative and here carbon contains the positive charge. So very easily it will take away the negative charge and form COH bond. Next what happens? This bond is broken and a double bond is formed between the carbon and oxygen. Okay. And the second step, you see, this CO bond present with the benzene ring will break and oxygen will have the negative charge. Okay. Why it breaks? Because once carbon forms a double bond with the down oxygen, then what happens? Carbon will have 5 bonds. This is not possible. So carbon will leave out this group. Oxygen with the benzene ring. Okay, the oxygen will have the negative charge and this hydrogen is liberated out. So it will combine with the negative charge and it will form phenol. Okay, and what is the remaining part? Remaining part is acetone. Okay. Next is from Grignard reagent. Chlorobenzene is reacted with magnesium ions in the presence of dry ether to form Grignard reagent. Then there involves air oxidation of Grignard reagent followed by treatment with boiling water to form phenol. So this is the reaction. You can see chlorobenzene in the with dry ether or in the presence of dry ether reacts with magnesium ion and form the Grignard reagent. Okay, then there is an air oxidation and this intermediate compound is formed. Then on boiling with boiling water it forms phenol. So this intermediate compound is so much reactive that with boiling water only it will perform the reaction and form phenol, and this compound will be liberated out. This is what? Magnesium chlorohydroxide or chloromagnesium hydroxide. Fourth step we will see from sodium benzene sulfonate. This involves fusion of sodium benzene sulfonate with solid sodium hydroxide at 300 degrees Celsius followed by treatment with dilute HCl. So how benzene sulfonate is formed or sodium benzene sulfonate is formed? You see, from benzene, when it reacts with fuming sulfuric acid or concentrated sulfuric acid, it forms benzene sulfonic acid. Then on reaction with sodium hydroxide, it will form sodium benzene sulfonate. Okay, then again 2 moles of sodium hydroxide is used, then sodium phenoxide is formed, which on reaction with dilute HCl forms phenol. Okay, so let's mechanism. So we have the benzene. Okay, so as we have said, this carbon is electronegative, so it will take away the electron and form positive negative charge. Then we have the sulfuric acid fuming concentrated. Okay, so here oxygen being more electronegative will break the bond and form positive and negative. Next you see this H plus and this OH minus will react and form water. Okay, remaining you see this negative and positive will join and form this compound. This is benzene sulfonic acid. Okay, so the reaction is very simple. First what happens? You just take out the leftover part, that is water. First you form water, remaining you attach and you will get this compound benzene sulfonic acid. Okay, so this is step 1. Next, this benzene sulfonic acid, okay, I have written like this to show how oxygen will take away the electron from hydrogen and form positive negative charge. Then it will react with 1 mole of sodium hydroxide. Okay, so this is ionized. Again you see, first you join this water, throw out the water, then what happens? This negative and this positive will react and form sodium benzene sulfonate. Okay, this is step 2. So next, this sodium benzene sulfonate. So now please pay attention, this carbon and this sulfur. This sulfur is more electronegative than carbon present in the benzene ring. So the bond will break and we will have the positive and negative charge here. Okay. So next you see I have said 2 moles of sodium hydroxide is used here. So this sodium hydroxide you can see I have written a bit different way. Okay, so why I'll tell you. So first this sodium hydroxide we are taking. So this is very normal, it is breaking out in sodium ions and hydroxide ions. Okay, but the next one you can see I have shown this way. This oxygen and hydrogen bond will break. Okay, the oxygen will take away the electron and form negative and positive charge. Okay, so you see how the reaction will take place now. This hydrogen and this H plus and this OH minus. Okay, they will form water. Very easy. Okay, so we will throw out water. So remaining what we have? Remaining we have this negative charge present in the sulfur and this positive charge present in the sodium. So can anyone say what it is formed? Very easy, it will form sodium sulfite. It is not sulfate, it is sulfite. Okay, sodium sulfite, Na2SO3. Okay, so we have thrown out 2 compounds, 2 byproducts remaining. What we will do? This positive charge present in the benzene ring and negative charge present in the oxygen means NaO together. It will combine with the positive charge and it will form sodium phenoxide. Very easy. On the benzene ring first we will attach ONA and it will form sodium phenoxide. Okay, so this is step 3. Okay, now step 4 we will see. As usual we have seen in the last mechanism, oxygen being more electronegative will take away the electron from sodium and it will form positive negative charge. Next it will react with hydrochloric acid or dilute hydrochloric acid. Okay, dilute hydrochloric acid always have a negative and positive charge. So positive negative means NaCl will be formed and phenol will be formed. Very easy. Yes, this is step number 4. Next is benzene diazonium salts. From benzene diazonium salts. This reaction can be performed easily in the laboratory and simply requires warming a solution of benzene diazonium chloride prepared from aniline on a water bath at 50 degrees centigrade. So this is the reaction. Here we can see aniline. It will react with sodium nitrite in the presence of dilute HCl and the temperature you see 273 to 278 Kelvin. So this process is called as diazotization. Always remember when you are having an aniline and sodium nitrite in presence of HCl, it will always be the diazotization reaction. Okay, so we are having here benzene diazonium chloride salt is produced, which on reaction with boiling water, okay, it will give out phenol. Okay. The phenol is then recovered by steam distillation and extracted with diethyl ether. Okay. The mechanism. We have the aniline here. I have written like this. Okay, first you see this nitrogen will take away the electron from hydrogen and form positive negative charge. Similarly, the nitrogen will take away the electron from the other hydrogen and form positive negative charge. Okay, and we have our sodium nitrite and dilute hydrochloric acid. Okay, so you see sodium nitrite the bond between the oxygen and nitrogen, double bond, it breaks and forms positive negative charge. Okay, another bond, it also breaks and forms positive negative charge. Okay, so we will see the reaction. See very clearly, this oxygen contains two negative charge, means what, the oxygen is free. Okay, the oxygen is free to react, and here you see hydrogen is liberated out, here also one hydrogen is liberated out. So two hydrogens and one oxygen will react. Okay, it will react and form water. Understood? No confusion? Okay, you see the oxygen contains two negative charge, means what, it is totally free. Okay, the bond has broken down and oxygen is free. So it will take or react with the two liberated hydrogen and form water. Next we will see this HCl will form positive negative charge. Okay, and you see the bond between the nitrogen and the other oxygen also breaks and forms positive negative charge. Okay, so now you see very easy to form NaO and H. NaO, O oxygen has a negative charge, and from the HCl hydrogen has the positive charge. This will react, NaOH will be formed. Okay, very easy. And the last step you see, two electrons are present in nitrogen, or two negative charges are present in nitrogen, and here three positive charge are present in nitrogen, and here one negative charge is present in chlorine. So just join together, positive negative, positive negative, positive negative. Okay, so we have this compound. Okay, benzene diazonium chloride. Clear? So this is step 1. In the next step we will see this benzene diazonium chloride is always present in the form of salt. Okay, so it is always present in the form of positive negative charge. Okay, next it will react with boiling water. Okay, boiling water, oxygen, it will form H plus and OH minus. Okay, so in the compound, the benzene diazonium chloride compound, you see nitrogen being more electronegative than the carbon, so it will take away the electron and the bond will break and form positive and negative charge. Okay, since a positive charge is present in nitrogen, so negative charge will combine with this positive charge and it will become neutral, and nitrogen dioxide or nitrogen gas is liberated out. Okay, nitrogen gas will be liberated out. Next you see this water will get ionized and form H plus and OH minus, and this H plus will react with this chloride ion and form HCl. Okay, and remaining you see here benzene ring has this positive charge. Okay, this bond has broken down. Okay, so now the benzene is free with the positive charge, and here we have OH with the negative charge. This will combine and we will get our phenol. This is step number 2. Okay, with only 2-step mechanism we have done this reaction. Okay, easy. If you have any doubt, you can tell any time. So next, from coal tar. Coal tar provides natural source of phenols and cresols, but nowadays provides less than 10% of the total supply. The middle oil fraction of coal tar contains phenols, cresols and naphthalene. The oil, when cooled, deposits solid naphthalene, which is removed by centrifuging the mixture. The oil left is agitated with sodium hydroxide solution when phenol and cresol dissolve as sodium salts. So this is the reaction. Phenol reacts with sodium hydroxide to form sodium phenoxide and water. The phenols are then recovered by passing carbon dioxide through it. Okay, so we have phenoxide, sodium phenoxide, it reacts with carbon dioxide and water and forms phenol and sodium carbonate. Phenol is finally isolated from the resulting mixture by fractional distillation. Okay. So this is the end of today's class. So now we have some homework for you. So this is the question and you have to find the answer and give me the answer the next class. Thank you.